Good morning, everybody. Joel here.
And Eve here. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday.
Now, before you say Joel, you look like a red tomato. I have to give you a backstory because I do look like a red tomato. We went out to a Halloween party last night, and I dressed up as the devil, and I'll show you some pictures of that in a minute. And I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed and couldn't get it all off. But anyway, let me show you why I look that way. If you look here, that's why I just couldn't, I couldn't for the life of me. Before people say, Joel, you got to go to the doctor. Your blood pressure is like way too high, dude. Has nothing to do with that. Again, we dressed up, had a really great time last night, and I thought it was going to wash off, and it didn't quite wash all off. But anyway, guys, nice to have you here. As usual, let us know where you're logging in from. Today's like a fun, special webinar. Until Chris and Tammy, they're off in the Philippines. They usually do the Saturday webinar. Want to give a big shout out to Dr. Koa as well for doing last week's Saturday webinar. He said it was absolutely amazing. Tons of great feedback. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to turn things over to my lovely wife Eve because today we're going to show you how to use your wallet, which is really simple. And then I'm just going to have a chat with you guys from the heart on how I went from zero to over 300 million in sales online. And, you know, for a lot of people, that's a lot of money. I get that. And that's something I'm going to talk about on all the pros, all the cons, all the frustrations, and so forth. So I'm going to come off the mic for just a little bit and turn it over to Eve. Over to you.
Okay, well, good morning, everyone, again. And I just decided to share you. So most of you already noticed that we introduced a new feature in your members area, which is called internal wallet, which is pretty cool. And I can see already so many people, so many customers of ours are already widely are using it. So let me just share my screen because I wanted to go over what is there and also let you know what are we working on right now, because we are going to expand internal wallet to be even more useful for our customers. So let me just share my screen. Oh boy, let me see how I can do it. Okay. Joel's coming. I'm not really often on webinars. Sorry.
Click present.
Okay, present.
No, look at the bottom.
Okay, share screen. Sorry, not too
Entire screen.
Entire screen. This is the one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I hope you can see. Okay.
No, now you got to let it load, and then you got to put it in the stage. Okay, so click there now. Add the stage. Now they see it.
Nice. Okay. So guys, I'm going to share. I hope you can see my screen, and just let me know if you can see it in chats. Okay. So I am in our demo account inside, and if you already know that internal wallet is one of the section on the left hand side menu. Okay. So what you can do at the very moment with your internal wallet. So first of all, you can refill it. So let's go to the refill section, and you will notice that you can refill it either, from your credit card or debit card, or you can refill it from your commissions. And let me go to refill it from my commissions. This is actually a very neat feature because our customers have been asking us if they can pay for their subscription with commissions, to avoid this, transfers fee to their Pioneer or their Wise account. They just feel more comfortable if they can pay with commissions for their subscriptions, which is absolutely good. And so at the very moment, I just showed you, this is just for the demonstration, I created some payouts. So as you can see, I had some $25 in commissions on the 25th, on the 14th, $50, and on the 28th, $35. So I can take all of them, okay? So if I select all of them, so you will see that $110 will be added to my balance, or I can just select one of these payment types, one of these payouts. And at the very moment, you can only refill with the total amount, which is either $25 or $50 or $35. But we are already working on that. You can exactly tell how much you want to. So, if you have, let's say, $500 commission in that month, you don't want to put all of them in your e-wallet. So you will be able to indicate how much exactly, like, let's say I'm trying to refill with $50 commission. So I want to put only $25, right? So that will be possible a little bit later, like maybe at the end of November or in the middle of November, but we are already working on that. So let me just refill I'm going to put just $75, right? I'm clicking submit. System tells you exactly what you're gonna get to your e-wallet. So there's, we are very transparent. You're refilling 75. There is a 3% payout fee when we are paying commissions. So your e-wallet will be refilled with $72.75. So let me just do it. Nice. Here I have it on my balance, and right, you can see in the transaction history. So today at 9:05, I got the refill from commissions. Who received it? Me. And how much was received? $72.75. So it's for your so you can what's going on, right, where your money went to. The next nice feature is the transfer. So what that means, transfer, you can refill. So at the moment, you can refill only internal wallets of your downline, but we received many, requests from our members that they want to refill any e-wallet in entire system. So because they have, friends or some people they know which are in a different downline, so they want to help them, or, so it will be you will be able to refill to any internal e-wallet again, I believe by the end of the November, but at the very moment you can refill only to your the internal wallets of your downline. So this demo account has only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members. So I can select, or you can type, let's say if I'm typing E, which is not in this account downline, so system cannot find it, right? But anyway, so let me just try to refill the member this. So I want to transfer him $10, right? This is the minimum amount, $10, because the purpose of transferring money is to help out that person, or maybe that person give you cash so they can pay their subscription, right? And mostly for demo for Got Backup, the monthly fee is $9.97. Okay, so let's do that transfer fee. So it tells the system that I'm transferring $10 to the member 3, and my member 3 will receive $10. Okay, so let's do that. And again, you will see in the transaction, so you see my wallet balance is down $10. And if I go to wallet transactions, we'll see again that today at 9:07, I did a transfer. Who sent transfer me? How much? $10. Who received the transfer? Member 3. How much? And member 3, every time you send someone money, you transfer, right? The receiver receives an email saying like, congratulations, you got awesome news. This and this person send you money. So once they receive the money to the internal wallet, they will be this box which says pay my account subscription with my wallet balance will be automatically checked. So system understand, okay, so this customer received $10 and they want to pay with this money for their subscription, right? So next month, if the person didn't receive $10, system understand that that it needs to bill the credit card of that person. Okay, so you can really manage if you want to pay with your wallet balance or how you want to do. So you just check, and then don't forget to click update. Okay, so this is what we have at the very moment. As I said, we're coming up with you will be able just to pay a portion of your commissions, not the entire payout, okay, to refill your balance. Now we're working already on integrating cryptocurrency, which is very, very, like many of the customers are asking about that. So what you will be doing with that, you will be able to, again, pay to refill your internal wallet with cryptocurrency. You will be able also to receive commissions to your crypto wallet, okay? And one more feature, because I know in many countries, it's very common that not many people have open bank accounts, right? So they don't have debit or credit cards, so they want to pay in cash. And we receive many feedback that, hey, there's a member of mine, he's paid me cash, how can I sign him up? So this is where we working right now with, again, that you will be able to sign up an account with your wallet, internal wallet. So this will be some sort of a new feature, like a button here, create a new account. So when you click it here, you will have to put the email address of this person who you want to sign up with your internal wallet. And then system will create you a link. So this link, I don't know how long it will be valid. Like, we did not discuss it. We will go like maybe 24 hours. So within these 24 hours, let's say the subscription is to start, right? $49.97. So $49.97, like let's say I have $72.75 on my balance. So $49.97 will be kind of frozen. So you can't do anything with this money because we are waiting, because you created a link that you want to sign up that person. So if that person doesn't sign up within 24 hours or whatever period we will set for this, the link will expire and money will be back to your wallet. So this is what we are working now on, and hopefully by the end of November we can present all of these features to you. And we are always listening to our customers, and we always trying to understand them and their requests. So if you have like a good request, just put in the ticket. We always listen to our customers, and we will work on that too. Okay, I guess that's it about internal wallet. So Han, do you want to take it over?
Yeah, well, just is there any questions, folks? So basically the practical applications, which Eve already mentioned, but we'll just mention them again, is again, understand, a lot of us are in North America, but there's a lot of people around the world, as Eve said, who don't have debit, credit cards. They don't trust the banking systems in their countries and so forth. So you'll be able to have somebody pay you, and then you can sign them up using your own internal wallet. Or if you have a member that you want to pay their monthly subscription because they're paying you cash, you can transfer money over to their wallet, and that will cover their subscription as well. And that's going to dramatically help with retention as well, guys, because we can also take your monthly subscription from your commissions. We can do that now, right, Eve?
Yes, absolutely. That's why. So you refill your e-wallet with your commissions, and again, at the moment, you can put just only the whole amount of that payout. But hopefully, within the next 2 weeks, you will be able to decide, okay, I want to just put $25 from that payout. So and I just wanted to reply to Jerry's comment. Well, Jerry, yes, they can only pay for this service because this is not like this is not like a global payout system. This is the payout system. This is the payout feature in our system. So this is where we want to help our customers, and they downline, right? Because we do receive many, hey, I want to pay with my commissions. I feel more comfortable because I want to avoid this transfer fee, because when you transfer to Wise or to Pioneer, there is a payout fee on their side, right? So they want to avoid this, and this is why we came up with this feature.
Cool. Any other questions? Just looking here. Is this being recorded? Yeah, it's live on YouTube, Jack. So all you have to do is refresh after we're done here, and it will pop up for you.
Thank you very much. We do list. I just want to. This is a very yeah. This is awesome, yeah. And I say it was so interesting even to see, because when we deployed it, we added to the members area. We did not announce it for like a day to our customers because we wanted just to make sure that it's all running smoothly, even though we do lots of testing on the dev environment, but there always could be some bugs. And it was so interesting just to see by the end of the day, because we have statistics, so many people already started without a training video, without explanation, they were started to use this feature, refilling, transferring. So we're like, okay, we did the right thing. It's customers are loving it.
See any other questions? I think it's pretty clear. E-wallet. Yeah, of course. I don't know what this means here. E-wallet. E-wallet wanted my W-9. Who's E-wallet?
No, I understand what you're talking about, that because right now you have to download the W-9, you have to fill it out, you have to put your signature and then upload it. I understand what you're talking about. You know what? Just put a ticket, support ticket, and just say attention Eve, and just connect your, like, attach your W-9 to that, and it's okay. You don't have to go through the process again trying to upload it to the system. Just attach it to the ticket. But I understand what you're talking about. We should, I will talk to our devs to make it easier process, so you don't have to download it, sign, but you can sign it electronically. So this is something we can work on for sure. It's something very doable.
I'm looking as well. All right. Any other questions on the wallet, folks, before I give you some great marketing tips today? Okay, it looks like we're good. Thank you, dear.
Okay, yeah, you're welcome. I mean, it's a very simple tool, yet very powerful.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna boot you out. Don't get mad at me.
Okay, that's okay.
Say bye to everybody.
Bye-bye.
So anyway, guys, again, I just want to reiterate, because it looks like I have a blood pressure of 250 over 164. We went out to a Halloween party last night. I painted myself like the devil. I scrubbed all night long, and I just couldn't get it all off. So that's why I'm looking a little on the roasty side. So yeah, guys, I don't want you taking notes. I want you to listen. I'm going to give you a nice little gift here in a moment, my ebook that I wrote on really what took me from zero to literally over $300 million in sales online. I know that's a huge number, and I know for a lot of people that's like just out of your mental capacity and stuff like that. But that's not in a year or anything like that. That's over the past 20 years. I'm no Jeff Bezos, I'm no Elon Musk, but I've been very blessed to have a very good life for me and my family and so forth and stuff like that. So let me give you my background, because I want to inspire you guys. This getting to where I'm at today was not easy. There's been a lot of good times, a lot of amazing times, and a lot of times that weren't so good and so forth. So let me come back to the very, very beginning, guys, of why I became an entrepreneur, and even the frustrations that I had during this time frame in my life. So I'm going to tell you my background in 5 or 10 minutes. Then I'm going to give you some really, really good tidbits on how to grow your team a lot faster. Okay, so I'll never forget it. I was 11 years old. I was downstairs in my basement playing Atari. I knew my dad always owned an advertising agency, but up until that moment, I don't remember any aha moments in my life. So it was a Saturday morning, and I was, for those of you who know what Atari is, it's like, one of the first video game system. I was absolutely addicted to Space Invaders. So anyway, my dad said, "Hey, Joel, come here." And I'm like, okay. So I came up from the basement. And I remember this like it was yesterday, because it had such a massive impact on me, guys. My dad, so this was 1983. I'm 51 years old. I was 11 years old then, born in 72. I was 11 years old, and I went upstairs, and my dad pulled out like $2,500 cash out of his pocket. Now, guys, $2,500 cash in 1983 is probably equivalent to like $6,000 or $7,000 today. And he pulled it out of his pocket, and I said, "Where the heck did you get that?" And I don't know why he did it. I'm sure he was trying to leave an impression on me. It certainly wasn't to brag. I know that, because my dad's a very humble man. But he pulled like $2,500 cash out of his pocket. And I remember distinctly thinking at that moment, I'm like, oh my God, my best friend's mother, she was a single mom, has to work well over a month for that money, like well over a month. And my dad, and I'm like, where did you get that money? Now, my dad owned a Yellow Page company. Okay. And so he went out, and what he did that morning is he went out and he sold ads in his Yellow Page directory. And I said to him, I said, "What'd you do?" He goes, "Oh, I just went out and sold some ads." And back in those days, guys, a lot of people paid cash. Okay. So he would collect some paper checks as well, but he had a strong trust with and relationship with his customer base. So a lot of them paid cash. And he's like, "Oh, I just went out and sold ads." And I was like, right then and there, I'm like, this guy's making more money than an engineer. This guy's making more money than some doctors and so forth. And I'm very happy for my father to say that he is a now retired 82-year-old multimillionaire, because he really was conservative and ran his business. So I said to my dad, I said, "Can you teach me how to do that? That's all I want to know." Now, the battle started because my mom was the uber conservative and my dad was the entrepreneur. My mom came from military and government, which meant what? go to the military or go to the government because it's a very, very safe education, and so forth. And so most of my mom's side are all military. Most of my dad's side were always entrepreneurs. Now, because my dad was out selling often, I had I had a stronger personal relationship with my mother than I did my dad, because my mom was a homemaker. And again, my dad was very proud to say that my mom was able to raise my sister and I. So I had a lot of internal conflict because my mom wanted me to go to school, my dad didn't. So when I finished high school, I said to my mom, Mom, I already knew what I wanted to do, but I was scared to death to tell her that I just wanted to be an entrepreneur. Okay. Just wanted to be an entrepreneur. That's it. So after high school, I said to her, Mom, I really don't know what I want to do. Can I please take some time off? And she said, only bums take time off. You're going straight to university right now. And I said, Mom, I don't even know what I want to do. She goes, well, when you were a kid, you used to play with Lego a lot, and you used to play with Meccano a lot, and you used to always look and see how things were working. So you're going to be an engineer. I'm like, okay. So long story short, I went to Carleton University in Ottawa, and I flunked out horribly. I was in the back of calculus class. And for those of you who are engineers or have done calculus, and it was level 3 calculus, you're learning about Fourier series and Power series. I was in the back of that class reading muscle magazines, okay? Because at that time, I'd already been involved in bodybuilding for a very, very long time. And believe me, if you're not paying attention in calculus class, you're going to flunk out without a doubt. So I flunked out, got nothing but D's and F's. And I went to my mom and I said, I told you so. I just don't know what I want to do. She's, well, God damn it. And I'm just keeping it real. She got pissed, right? God damn it. You're ruining your damn life. No other university is ever, ever, ever going to accept you. Well, sadly, guys, the first, and I hate to say this because of God bless everybody, to what happened in Maine and of course what's going on in Israel. But back then, the first mass shooting happened at Concordia University. Some idiot went into the girls' campus and killed like 12 women or something like that. Just horrible. As such, of course, the amount of enrollment that went into Concordia University in Montreal plummeted to zero. So I said to my mom, well, I think I found a university that will probably accept me. The difference is I said, Mom, I'm not doing an engineering. I want to do a degree in exercise physiology with a specialization in cardiac rehab. Okay. So I got into university, and during that time, once I got close to finishing, I never got my degree. Life happened. My daughter was coming. I never got my degree at the time. But during that time, at the end of my internship, I was doing cardiac stress testing at a cardiac clinic in Ottawa, Canada. And that clinic was owned by a doctor named Dr. Benny Kuriakos. Okay. Now, I was already very, very lean and very muscular at that age. I was in probably 20, 19, 20, something in that range. And so this doctor ended up getting a man crush on me. He's like, dude, where do you get the guns? God, I'm so red. Huh? Where do you get the guns? How did you build your body up so much? So anyway, long story short, I started to train him. And here's my first lesson of like-minded people hang with like-minded people. So I did his personal training, and he got really, really good results. And as such, he said, Joel, I have a very good friend of mine who's one of the busiest CEOs in Canada, and he wants you to do his personal training because, guys, I've truly only trained 7 to 10 minutes a day, 3 times per week. So it really catered to busy CEOs. Get your workout done in 10 to 15 minutes total, or you can go and train for hours and hours and get the same results. It's totally up to you. That person turned out to be Dr. Michael Copeland. For those of you who are Canadian, you're going to know who he is. For those of you who don't know who he is, he owned a company called Corel.com. You can go there right now, Corel.com, okay? They were by far the largest competitor to Microsoft in Canada. And so, it's a multi-billion dollar company, okay? So he said to me, Dr. Binney said, hey, it's Dr. Copeland that wants you to do his training. And I was like, everybody knew who he was. He was very philanthropic. He was very extroverted and stuff like that. So I said, okay. So I had my little Eagle Vista. It's one of the ugliest cars ever. I was still in college and so forth. And I drove up to his home, guys, in Rockcliffe Park in Ottawa, Canada. Okay. And it's not 3,500 square feet. It's 35 1,000 square feet. Okay. So here I am in my little Ego Vista. And I remember thinking to myself, and I'm just keeping it real, I don't care how much this rich prick pays me. That was my first, wall in my mind, that all people who are rich were evil or assholes or whatever. And excuse my language, but they got their money in a bad way. So I was like, I don't care how much this guy pays me. If he's not nice to me, I'm not doing his training. So I got up to the door, and when I pulled in the driveway, guys, there was like $4 million worth of cars just in the driveway. And here I was in my old beat up Eagle Vista worth like what, maybe $2,000-3,000 bucks. So I was like, oh, I felt my heart start to race. So I went up and I knocked on the door, and one of 5 maids answered the door. And she said, oh, Joel, is this Joel? I said, yeah, is Dr. Copeland in? She said, yeah, come in. He's really looking forward to meeting you. So he came running around the corner, hey, I'm Mike. Hey, Dr. Copeland. He's like, no, call me Mike. Okay. So that was my first introduction to somebody who was going where I want to go. So here's something I want you to write down, guys. Okay. This is harsh, but it's true. Write this one down. Never take advice from somebody who's not already living the lifestyle that you want to live. Okay. So I looked at this 35,000 square foot place. I started to get down on myself because I'm like, holy cow, what does this guy do for a living? Well, I already knew you owned Corral, but I'm like, I started to get down on myself a lot because I was like, man, I mean, I thought I was old. I was in my early 20s, right? Or whatever, 2021. I don't remember the exact age. But anyway, I remember thinking, damn it, I should have done computer science. I should have done software engineering. Like I'm never going to be a multi-billionaire, doing personal training and exercise physiology and all that kind of stuff, right? So anyway, fast forwarding a little bit, I did his training for a long time. Okay. A long time. And so over time, we became good friends. Here's the other thing that completely changed my mindset with him. One day, because he had a PhD and his name was Doctor, I assumed he had a PhD in computer science or software engineering or something of the sort. So I asked him one day, I said, hey, Dr. Copeland, or Mike, I called him Mike at that point. I said, where did you do your PhD in software engineering? He's like, software engineering? I'm like, yeah, you're running a $4 billion or $5 billion a year software company. He's like, Joel, my PhD is in civil engineering. And I remember thinking, man, I was back in college in civil engineering. And I said, what did you say? He goes, yeah, my PhD is in civil engineering. I'm like, but you're running a software company. He's like, yeah, so? Like, what do you mean, yeah, so? He goes, I saw a potential and I just found the right people. I was like, what? Say that again. I saw the potential and I just aligned myself with the right people. See, the thing is, and there's no disrespect in education, guys. Education is very important. That's not what I'm saying, okay? But education has brainwashed us, okay? And again, I'm not knocking education. Anybody who's got a PhD, like I bow to you. But this is what conventional education does. If I become X, Y, or Z, if I become an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer or a dentist, I can expect to make X, Y, Z, right? In money. In other words, you've got to learn the profession first to expect a $200,000 a year salary, so stuff like that, right? We're just preconditioned. So I did my cardiac rehab, okay? And I got very, very depressed. So this is while I was doing my personal training with Dr. Copeland and a few other people. And I was like, oh my God, he's so right. Like, I don't need to know how to use a computer. I don't need to know how to use the internet. I just need to find people who do know how to. So during that time frame, okay, and I'm going to share one more story, then I'm going to get into some really good tidbits for you, but I want you guys to be inspired that it wasn't easy, but it was so worth it. So during that time frame, I kept doing his training, and another day, as I became more and more comfortable talking to, because like I idolize this guy, like bow to him, whatever, like, oh my God. So one day we were just talking, and now again, keep in mind, this is a $4 or $5 billion a year company in the mid 90s, probably 93, 94 in that range. And he came to me frustrated, and he's like, Joel, we're only doing about $5,000 a day online in sales. Now that sounds like a lot of money as it is, but when you're a $4 billion a year company, it's not a lot, right? So at the time, I started to dabble on the internet a little on the side here and there. And I said, well, why don't you set up an affiliate program? He's like, what's that? And I said, well, why don't you, if somebody sends traffic to your website and they buy one of the software products, give that guy a commission. And here's the other thing that was really interesting about Dr. Copeland, like talk about ADHD en masse, like massively ADHD. Okay. So he's like, oh, okay. And that was the end of the conversation. Let me tell you one more conversation that was really interesting. And here's another thing you write down. He just takes massive action. He wasn't smarter than me. He wasn't brighter than me. He just, when he heard of a good idea, he took massive action. So let me regress one more little story because I'd never seen a check that big in my life. One other time he was complaining because he said, Joel, I have about 3,000 developers on staff at our headquarters, and every single one of them are programming all day. And this guy was a fitness fanatic, okay? He's like, they're getting more and more and more and more overweight. And I know that being that overweight is affecting productivity. Now, at the time, I was a national level bodybuilder. So I was sponsored by some of the best nutrition companies in Canada. And I said to him, I said, well, rather than them, eating chips and popcorn and whatever bad foods all day, why don't we make them a nice high protein snack? And, I have a company that can make them a nice high protein snack and they can eat that and that will help level off their weight. But that was the whole extension of the conversation. So I went to leave that day. Okay. And he's like, wait, Joel, hang on. I'm like, okay. Comes back, guys. And it still dumbfounds me today. Comes back with a check for $32,000. I had never, and written in my name. I'm like, is this like an advancement on personal training for the next 10 years? He's like, Joel, that snack, I want you to do it, and I want you to do it now. What? So anyway, long story short, he wanted to make like a Hershey's Kiss side snack. You can unwrap it, eat it, high protein. And for those who don't know, when you eat high protein, there's no way you're going to gain weight with that. The unfortunate part is they couldn't do it. And so I had to give him all the money back, which really, really sucked. But I was like, again, it was just a moment in my life. This guy's not smarter than me. He's not brighter than me. He just sees a good idea. He amassed the right people. I was that right person for him to create the nutritional snack. And I was like, yeah, this guy's just a massive, massive, massive action taker. So coming back forward now to the affiliate program. So I said, start an affiliate program. Again, that was on a Friday. He calls me Saturday, and this was it's still a publicly traded company. He calls me Saturday. He goes, hey, Joel, can you come and meet with my board of directors on Monday morning to explain your idea of running an affiliate program? And I my heart sunk, like scared to death. Like, I mean, I barely knew what was an affiliate program myself, guys, but I was like, I almost said no. And I'm like, Joel, don't waste this chance. Don't you dare. So Monday, I go to the penthouse, and this was a huge company. I think the penthouse was on the 15th floor or something like that. Go to the penthouse. I got a board of directors of about 30 people in front of me, and here I am pitching them on an affiliate program. And eventually they set one up. And that day, okay, here's what changed for me forever. And remember, I told you the one tip. Never take advice from people who are not already living the lifestyle that you want to live. My whole life, I wanted to appease my mother. I wanted to make my mother happy. I wanted her to love me more. I wanted her to be more proud of me, all that kind of stuff, right? And so I left there that day and I thought to myself, not that my dad didn't do well, but like I said, he retired a multimillionaire because he had a good company, but he was also very conservative with his money. Okay. So we lived in an 1,100 square foot house growing up, my sister and I. Okay. And I remember thinking that day, I left the office, did my affiliate program pitch, and I'm like, why is it that I don't believe in myself, but this multi-billionaire believes in me? And why am I listening to my mother, who lives in an 1,100 square foot home, where this other individual, Dr. Copeland, says, Joel, the sky's the limit. You're at the perfect age. You're very young. You don't have a lot of bills. Go for it. So that day, because it was a Monday, I quit my job. I was doing cardiac rehab at a hospital in Ottawa, Canada, and I never, ever, ever, ever told my mom for 2 years. Quit my job and started to play on the internet, and I knew nothing about the internet. Nothing, guys, okay? So I struggled for 2 years, but you know, it was really unfortunate. The point on that, it was really unfortunate that I didn't believe enough in myself to take action. It took a multi-billionaire to kind of shove it right in my back and say, Joel, you can do this. And so I thought to myself, who's right? My mother, whom I love dearly, or this multi-billionaire who I respect beyond belief, really one of my top mentors in my whole life. So I quit my job. I didn't tell my mother for 2 years. And now we're going to get into the tidbits of everything. Okay, guys? So you're going to, as easy as Got Back Up is, you're going to run into roadblocks. You're going to run into rejection. You're going to run into a lot of things. Okay. And that's just par for the course. It happens. So here's another thing I want you to write down. When I decided to quit my job, here's another thing that's very important. Have a backup plan. Okay. So the nice thing was, at the time, my daughter was just about being born, my oldest daughter, or maybe she was already born, but give or take. We lived in a townhouse, so that was very small. We were living very conservatively. So my mortgage was only $450 a month. So I worked as a doorman at night so that I could at least pay some of the bills, contribute to the family, and then I would work on my internet business during the day. Okay, so that's rule number one. Don't think you can do this and start making $5,000 a month immediately, okay? If you think that, and believe me, we get engineers, doctors, lawyers, dentists, all types of people who say, hey, I lost my practice, all this kind of stuff. They believe in the online hype, and they believe, that network marketing is the new pathway for them. But what they don't understand is it's not going to happen in 1 month. So have your backup plan, okay? You got to have money coming in because that's what makes it fun, right? And so, guys, for every night for 2 years, I almost gave up. Never making a penny, never making a penny, never making a penny. So coming back to what I started to do online, just to give you guys the perspective as well, okay? So at that moment when I quit my job, I went to my dad. My mom knew nothing, okay, because I was too scared to tell her. I didn't want to hurt her feelings. The next day I told my dad, I said, hey, Dad, don't tell Mom, but I quit my job. And can I start working for you? Because I really respected the business that he had. Okay. He had about 6,000 customers that were advertising in his Yellow Page directory. I said, Dad, don't tell Mom. Don't worry. I'm okay. I'm working a job at night, but I really want to follow your path. I want to create financial freedom for me. I want to create the freedom for my family. I want to be an entrepreneur. Like, without a doubt, this is what I want to do. So I'm going to come work for you if it's okay, so I can make some money. And here's what I don't like about your business, Dad. Your business is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's very profitable. He was doing about, get this, guys, he was doing about $500,000 a year in revenue, but he only had 2 employees. Talk about massive profits, okay? So I said to my dad, I said, Dad, your Yellow Page directory is not going to be around much longer, okay? The internet is going to be taking over everything. So this is what I want to do. I want to go out to all the people who are advertising in your Yellow Page directory, and I want to sell them a website, okay? And he's like, okay. So I literally, well, let me back up one more time. Sometimes you got to come way out of your comfort zone. So I started selling with my dad, and I thought, all right, Dad, game on, show me the ropes, right? Show me the ropes. So I went in his car with him, and we went door to door selling. My mom thought I was at my conventional job. Thank you, Dad, for not telling Mom until I was ready to. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go in with him. He's going to show me his style and his moves and what he says to people and how he says it and all this kind of stuff. So he gives me the telephone book and he gives me a contract. He says, see that business? Go in there and sell them. So what? Here's a contract. Here's the telephone book. Go in there and sell them. I said, Dad, go in there and sell them. Okay. Shaking literally like a leaf, like terribly shaking. Go in there. I didn't make the sale. Okay. But I'll never forget my dad. I come out and he's just in tears laughing at me, like, like, what happened? That is the best thing that my father ever did for me. He made me come way out of my comfort zone. Okay. So I didn't make the sale, went to the next place. Okay. Go sell this person. Around the fifth time, I made a sale. Okay. And that changed everything for me. And basically, it's sink or swim. Okay. So imagine this as an example. Sometimes people have to hit rock bottom before network marketing is at the right place and the right time for them. Before my dad's advertising agency in his Yellow Page book, he owned a sports store. Now, my dad was a very trusting individual, but he was very disorganized. As such, in his sports retail store, he wasn't keeping an eye on his inventory. Long story short, some of his staff sold tens of thousands of dollars of inventory from him, so he was forced to declare bankruptcy. In that bankruptcy is when he was against the wall, because he had my sister and I and my mother and so forth, and he knew he had to be a provider. It was when his back was against the wall like that he, just like me, said, I need to do something and I need to do it right now. And that's when he started to do door-to-door selling. Okay. Now, I'm not saying you need to do door-to-door selling and stuff like that, but that's what happened. Okay. So coming back, I said, okay, Dad, we're going to take all your Yellow Page customers and you're going to get some good value out of this, guys. Okay. This is where you're going to get some really, really, really good value. I went out and it failed miserably. I was trying to sell somebody a domain name and a website. Okay. So domain name and a website, and everybody I saw to, here's the point. Listen to what people are saying. Just like Dr. Koa and so many of you said, I really appreciate how much Joel and Eve listen to our customer base. Listen first. Shut up. That's why you have 2 years. Shut up. Don't talk. Build rapport. Okay. So everybody told me the same thing, especially back then. Listen, Joel, I have a restaurant. I'm a mechanic. I'm a dentist. And back then there was no Google local. Their perception was this: Joel, if somebody in Japan clicks on my mechanic's website or my restaurant website, it does me no good. I don't want a website. I don't need one. Back then it was just international. Okay. So I got frustrated, but I listened, and it was the same pushback every time, guys. I don't need a website. I don't need somebody in Japan or Australia or all over the world clicking on my website. It's not going to do me any good. So I knew they understood the value of the telephone directory. Okay. And here's the thing, guys. Everybody makes a buying decision based on a comparison. Okay. That's why we got back up 6 terabytes instead of 2 terabytes. They will buy based on the comparison of the competition, right? So I knew that people were advertising. They were paying about $700 a year to advertise in my dad's telephone directory. So I went to my dad. I said, Dad, I found a software developer who's going to make a local search engine. At the time, it was called elmerkiosk.com. I don't think I own that domain anymore, but what my idea was to build a local search engine. Okay. And why? Because I wanted to listen to my customers. And I said, Dad, everybody loves the book, but nobody's sold on a website yet. Can we do this? If I build a local search engine, can we put the domain name on the top and the bottom of every single page in the telephone directory? And he's like, okay. I was like, great. What do you mean, okay? So I went back to our customers because I knew they knew the value of the telephone directory, and everybody buys based on a comparison, right? So I went to them and I said, hey, if I build you a website and charge you $25 a month to host the website, I'm going to give you a second ad in the telephone book, and I'm going to put you in our local search engine. And that local search engine is going to be advertised on every single page in the telephone directory. Would you be willing to take a chance? And they're like, so you're going to give me a second ad in the telephone directory? Because I asked my dad if we could do, like, if they bought a big ad, give them another small ad in a different category. And what do I mean by that is maybe some guy's a plumber, but he also does air conditioning, right? So they're like, Joel, so $20 a month, a second ad in the telephone directory, and you're going to advertise a local search engine, which means you're going to drive local traffic to my site. Yes. Well, lo and behold, guys, I went from zero to within a few short months later, having 450 local businesses paying me $25 a month. And I was elated, absolutely elated, because let's see, what's that? $25 a month. Let me grab my calculator. I'm really bad at math in the morning. 25 times 450. It was $11,250 a month. I was absolutely elated because now, guess what? I could tell my mom, right? Tell my mom that, ha, 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 I'm making more money than I would ever made as an engineer, that kind of stuff. So that was really, really cool. And the point is, all I did was I listened to what people wanted. That's it. Instead of rambling on and on and on, I listened to what do people want and how do I provide it to them. Okay. So that went really well. Now we're going to start merging Copeland's affiliate program to what I was doing. So the only thing I didn't like, guys, hey, making $11,000 a month, in your local market is pretty damn good. But I hated the fact that I had zero leverage. Like if I wasn't out selling, I wasn't making money. Okay. So then I said, okay, I want to start an MLM company selling web hosting and web design. And that's what I did. Here's another thing. Now, this is very, 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 very important. Okay. So I started to send massive amounts of traffic to my website in the international community because I was going to go from a local web hosting company to one of the biggest web hosting companies in the world, right? That was my idea in my head. So I started sending massive amounts of traffic to my website and nobody was buying. Massive amounts of traffic to my website and nobody was buying. Why? I didn't have a brand. It wasn't about the money. There was no trust there. Okay. So I eventually cracked and I bought a book from Corey Rudel. He unfortunately died in a car accident. He owned the website Marketing Tips. And all he talked about was don't sell people, build your email list and just help people. I was like, okay. So during that time, guys, all I changed was this. I took the top 15 questions that people asked about our web hosting and I put it into an ebook. And so that ebook was learn the top 10 things you need to know relative to your web hosting provider before you decide to buy web hosting. Okay. And so lo and behold, I created that book. And people started to download that book. And in that book, I indoctrinated those people into my philosophies on two things, web hosting and email marketing. Okay. Because what I recognized back then, which is still true today, okay, there's a big difference between spamming people and permission-based email marketing. Guys, if you look at your Got Backup Tour site, I'm giving you the tools that got me to $300 million, which is write this down. Generate a lead first, build rapport with that lead in an automated way, okay, by helping them with zero expectation, okay? Help people with zero expectation that they're going to grow your team or join your team. So in my ebook, I talked about what you have to look for if you're going to be doing permission-based email marketing and web hosting at the same time, because most web hosting companies will shut you down in a heartbeat if they see you're emailing because they just assume it's spam. And especially back then, nobody understood permission-based email marketing. Permission-based means people come to your Got Backup Tour website, they give their name and email address, and they click submit. And that's when they're saying, yes, I want to know more. So lo and behold, guys, okay, going at this for 2 years, I finally bought that. And everything I'm teaching you right now comes from that ebook for absolutely free because I want you to see success. Okay. So I was making money from my local market, but I had made zero internationally. So I went at it for 2 years, just sending traffic to my website. Within a couple of weeks of saying, hey, why don't you download my ebook first? Why don't you learn the philosophies of our web hosting and why we're so good? And if you like what you see, maybe you'll sign up. So every day I would wake up every morning, rub the eyes and log into my bank account and have expect a big fat zero. Okay. Logged in one morning. What? A sale for $9.97 at 3:00 in the morning? What? I was flabbergasted. What the hell just happened? It was the happiest business days of my life. I made money while I'm sleeping. I made money dreaming about something, and somebody who filled out my form, downloaded my ebook, and bought something out of that ebook for $9.97. Called my mom, told you so, told you so, told you so, told you so. And she's like, dear, you've been going at this for 2 years, and $9.97 is not going to feed your family. Guys, that was my breakthrough. Everything changed in that moment. Why? It was real. It went from external motivation to intrinsic motivation. It was finally real for me. And so I said to myself, okay, Joel, what did I do right? What did I do right? And how do I reverse engineer that to do it 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times? Okay. So I figured it out. And within a few short months, I was doing my $10,000 to $11,000 in my local market, and I was doing about $20,000 a month online through affiliate marketing. And so I was combined doing about $30,000, $35,000 a month, and I was completely elated. Now, here's the other thing, and nothing has changed since then relative. Build your list. Get that list to know, like, and trust you. And what is the list? A name, an email address, and a phone number. Build your list. Reach out to that list daily without expectation, just saying hello, just giving tidbits, just saying hi. Let them know who you are. And eventually people will go, hey, I like this Dr. Koa. I like Bruce. I like Antoine. I like Lawrence. I like Edward. And because I like them, I want to join their team. Okay. And so that's what happened. And things literally took off from there. Then it started to explode. Why? One more reason. Okay. Write this down. 3 will set you free in network marketing. 6 will make you rich. Okay. What do I mean by that? Truly, if you get 3 people on your team as motivated as you are, you'll see financial freedom. 6 on your team that are as motivated as you are will make you filthy rich. Another short story. So the online marketing was going okay, but it wasn't like explosive. You know what I mean? Maybe, 10, 20 signups a day or whatever. Well, I was still running the business out of my basement at the time, and I had at least graduated to my home phone line and a business phone line. Okay. And on my website, it said the business was open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Well, at the time I had scarlet fever. I had a temperature of 104. Okay. And the phone rang my business phone line rang at 6 p.m. at night. Okay. And I remember thinking, I'm not getting that. I'm so sick. I feel so horrible. And it was an enlightening moment, a gift from God, because literally a little voice said to me, Joel, pick up the phone. So I picked up the phone, and this individual by Dr. Kenneth McVeigh was on the other end. And he asked me a bunch of questions for about 30 minutes. How do you do this? How do you do that? I love your affiliate program. How much commissions can I make? All that kind of stuff. And so at the end of the call, he said, thank you very much. Get ready to get about 300 signups overnight. Hung up the phone. I went to my wife at the time. I said, I just talked to some whack job who tells me I'm going to get 300 new customers overnight. Again, so write this down as well. Okay. When I first started, my goal was to cover my $450 mortgage because my mind could not expand or perceive beyond that. It just couldn't. It's like, if I can make $500 a month, I'm contributing, right? Again, a mind once expanded cannot contract. Want to believe that, guys? Or here's some example. Before Roger Bannister ran the 5-minute mile, everybody said it was impossible under a 5-minute mile. As soon as Roger Bannister did it, he proved everybody wrong. And soon after, many other people started running under a 5-minute mile. It's the same thing just recently, about 8 years ago, in the World's Strongest Man contest, Eddie Hall deadlifted 500 kilograms. And every scientist in the world said to themselves, just based on human physiology and the mechanics of the human body, it was impossible. Well, he did it. And guess what? Because he did it and proved everybody wrong, 6 months later, Thor Bjornsson, another strongman guy, went and deadlifted 501 kilograms. But since the end of time, everybody said it was impossible. So coming back to me, I couldn't expand my mind beyond $500. So when I talked to this guy and I was generating 10 to 20 sales a day online, this one guy said to me, oh, you're going to get 300 sales overnight. I was like, oh, what a whack job. Like, give me a damn break. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Guys, he lied to me. I woke up the next morning, okay, because I was really sick with scarlet fever. He lied. He brought 432 clients overnight. Is it fraud? Is it credit card fraud? Is he a scammer? Like, what the hell is going on? Like, I was half excited, half like, what the heck is going on, right? So I called him, trying to not act so excited, okay? Trying not to act so excited. I said, Mr. McVeigh, how are you today? He said, yeah. He goes, I said, you brought us over 400 clients overnight. He goes, oh yeah, it did better than I thought it was going to do. I'm like, Mr. McVeigh, can you please tell me how you did that? He goes, oh, Joel, I've been blogging for a couple of years now. I have about 30,000 people on my email list who really trust me. And I blog a lot about working from home. And I really loved your idea of doing web hosting from home and people making money from home, selling domain names and web hosting. And so I just sent an email out. I sent an email out to my list. Okay. And boom, that's how you got the clients. And that's what reinforced to me that that's all you need to do. Build your list, make money. Now, guys, I'm going to give you an ebook right now. I don't want you to buy anything in that ebook, but I want you to read it very carefully and see how it's laid out. In there are sales pitches in my ebook. I don't want you to buy anything, but I want you to read that the sales pitches are designed to help people. Okay. So I want you to read this ebook. I sell it generally. It has nothing to do with Got Backup, but it does at the same time because it doesn't. The point is, what I mean by it has nothing to do with Got Backup. This process works no matter what you're selling. Okay. Doesn't matter if you're selling health and wellness or whatever, self-help, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So here's the ebook, guys. Enjoy it. Don't buy from it. I don't want you to buy from it, but it gives you another perspective of my story. Everything that we do right now, as you'll see in Got Backup, is focused on one thing: generating a lead first and getting that lead to know, like, and trust you. Okay. So guys, there's the ebook there. I just put it in the text chat. Make sure you grab it, read it. You'll see that there's soft sales pitches in there, but it's really there to generate soft sales to help people. Okay. That's number one. So what I want to do now is give you guys a little bit of tough love. Okay. So let's talk about email marketing right now. Email marketing and only email marketing has allowed me to do $300 million online. Okay. That's what changed for me. Remember, I told you I was sending massive amounts of traffic to my web hosting site. Nobody was buying. As soon as I created an ebook filled with helpful information, then people started to buy from me. It wasn't about $9.97. We all have that. It was all about lack of trust and being able to do so. Okay. So here's the thing. Many of you, okay, now I really want you to listen. Many of you are buying our traffic co-ops. Great, massive action. It doesn't end there. It only begins there. 60 to 70% of you are not even sending them an email. They opted in to your website saying, yes, I want to know more. And you're letting them down because they want to know more about you, not me, not Got Backup. They want to know more about what's the biggest complaint in network marketing, guys? My sponsor sucks. Can I switch sponsors? Can I do it now? My sponsor's terrible. I want to work with this person, right? Well, guess what? If you didn't email your list every single damn day, you suck. That's what they think of you. You suck. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. Now, here's the thing. Don't, because people say, well, Joel, aren't you emailing those leads? Yes, we're emailing them from corporate, but they inherently know that I'm never going to pick up the phone and call that person. I don't have the time. But they know that their sponsor, if you email them often, will start to resonate and reach out to you. Okay. They want to know more about you than me. And so if they opted in and said, yes, I'd like to hear more, and you don't email them, you suck. Okay. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just the truth. Now they're upset. Filled out the form, big empty promise. Nobody reached out to me. I wanted to know more, blah, 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 blah. Another empty scam on the internet, blah, blah. They said they were going to help. They didn't help. They didn't do anything. I'm on to the next thing. So this is why network marketing is so much easier, guys. I'm going to share my screen. Now, my members area looks a little different from your Got Backup members area. I can't help that because we sell a lot more products and services, okay? But this is what I want you to understand and see. So let me go and share my screen, and we'll be done in the next 10 or 15 minutes. By the way, guys, is this helpful and inspirational so far? Just a yes in the chat. Where's the ebook? The ebook is right there. There's the ebook. Is this helpful for you guys? I just posted the ebook again. I hope it's helpful for you. Okay. Okay, good. So this is why it's so much easier today. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, you can see my screen here, guys. Here I am in my Now Lifestyle members area, which is part of GVO, okay? So I don't want you to get confused here. See, I still got my Got Backup, but these are other products and services that we sell that I'm not here to talk about today. Why? Because Got Backup's absolutely exploding beyond anything I've ever seen online. That's the truth. So, but what I want to show you is my autoresponder here. I'm going to click on Use This Tool, okay? And so a lot of people say, Joel, I don't want to piss people off. So I have 333,984 people on this email list, okay? In years, only 29,323 people have unsubscribed, okay? A very small percentage, and that's the power of it, okay? A lot of people say, oh my God, Joel, I don't want to piss people off. I don't want to email them too often. I don't want them to get angry at me. I don't want to hurt their feelings. No, because if they decide they're not interested, then they can simply click the unsubscribe link, and this is where my unsubscribes are. So out of 333,000 people on this one list, guys, and I have multiple lists, but I'm comfortable showing you this one, only 29,000 people after opting him in said, you know what? I've read some of his emails. I'm not interested, and I'm unsubscribing, okay? So here's where I want you to understand. Let me come back here, and then I'll share my screen again in a moment. The statistics. The average open rate of an email is 10%. 10%. Why? Because we all get tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of email, okay? Tons of email. So guess what? You got to email your list often because out of sight, out of mind, okay? So I want the numbers here. I want you to get interactive. If you send an email once a week, what's the average chance that people are even going to see that email or open that email? Tell me. If you send email once a week, what are the chances of people opening and reading that email? Yeah, out of sight, out of mind, 100%. Out of sight, out of mind. What are the chances, guys? 10%. Claudine says, Carter, it's almost none. It's 10%. Very low. Very, very low. So people send one email, go, oh, nobody got back to me. This didn't work. This doesn't work. Why should I keep sending emails? Guys, it's called Will You Marry Me marketing. Okay. If you're at a bar and you see a really hot girl or a really hot guy and you approach that girl or that guy and you say, you're so hot, we're going to go home, we're going to have great sex, and you're going to marry me after. What are the chances of them saying yes? 0. Okay. Absolutely 0. What's the right process in courting somebody? Just like courting your list. Okay. What do you do first? You build rapport with people, right? So I see a pretty girl in the bar. Maybe her name's Eve Tarian. And I'm intimidated and I have to come out of my comfort zone. And I have to approach Eve and just say, hi. Hi, Eve. Nice to meet you. How are you? Oh, good. How are you? Now, if she turns the other way and I read the body language and she walks off, well, she unsubscribed from my list already, right? Oh, well, lost that one. On to the next. But if I went up to Eve and said, Eve, you're so damn sexy and beautiful, like we're just going to have sex all night long, I'd get a big slap in the face, right? That is equivalent to you sending out an email as soon as somebody opts in saying, join my team, buy now, you're going to make $10,000 by the end of the month. You're going to get the big red middle finger. Exactly. Build rapport with people. So how do I build rapport with Eve? Can I buy you a drink? Okay. She says, yes. Great. What does that tell me? There's a little bit of interest there. So I buy her a drink and maybe I buy her another drink. Who knows, right? But the end of the night comes and I say to myself, hey, Eve, I'd like to see you again. Is it okay if you give me your phone number? Yeah, sure. Guess what? Eve just opted into my list, right? The equivalent. She said yes. She wants to hear from me. So if I say to her, if it's a Saturday night, I say, great, how would you like to go out this Wednesday? I'll call you on Tuesday to confirm. She's like, sounds great. I look forward to hearing from you. What happens if I don't call Eve, just like my list? What happens if I don't email my list when I've promised to give them more information? They lose confidence, right? Same idea. So you have to cultivate and nurture your list. Guys, I email as often as 3 times a day. The minimum today should be 5 times a week. Most of you are not even emailing your leads, and those who are might be emailing them once a month or once and saying it doesn't work. Again, emailing your list once is like me asking that hot new girl that you're going to jump in bed with me tonight. It doesn't work that way. I email 3 times a day often. You've got to email at least 5 times a week. Now, it says, now what do you say in those emails, guys? Everything is a Seinfeld email. Do 5 emails just about you. This is why I joined Got Back Up. This is why my team's growing. This is why I want to do this. Here's a picture of me. Here's a picture of my dog. Here's a picture of my family. Here's my picture of my why, all that kind of stuff. Send emails with lots of pictures of you in there so that they can start to identify who you are. Always in your emails, so let me come back and sharing my screen, guys, because I want to prove to you that what I say I do, okay? So here I am. Okay, it is being shown. Let me go to my broadcast messages. And from there, here are my broadcast messages, okay? And you'll see I use the same subject line quite often. Here, lots and lots of emails out. Why? I'm judging how many people open the email and how many people click. Here's the power of your email marketing. I reached out. Now, remember, I told you, right? So this went to 240,000 people, 4,232 people opened the email, and in there, 392 people clicked on a link in the email. This right here, which was absolutely free, is the equivalent of me making 4,232 telephone calls and people picking up and saying hello. How long would it take you to make 4,000 phone calls, and how exhausting would it be to make 4,000 phone calls? Absolutely exhausting, and it would take you well over a year, right? 10 phone calls a day, or more than that, right? But yeah, about 10 phone calls a day. Could you do that? I email these people just about every damn day. Now, again, it's not every day here because I have multiple lists, okay? But I email often, okay? So I talk about our webinars here, so forth, but that's the power. The bigger your list, the more you can expand. The more you can expand, more people become magnetically attracted to you, okay? So let me go to this one email here just as an example to show you the body, okay? Here's the key thing. I always put my picture in my email. Come see who I am. Now, I don't do what I advocate to you guys do, is I don't come here and say, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at joel@joeltarian.com. Why do you think I don't do that in my emails anymore, guys? Let me come back here and we're going to end this soon. But why do you think I don't do that? Why don't I put my contact information in my emails anymore? And you should, but why don't I? Give me an answer. Think about it. Let me know. This is really good training, guys. I'm going to do it for another 5 or 10 minutes, and I hope it's helpful. Why don't I put it? No, not spam. They opted in, Pat. Understand, permission-based email. Yeah, no, it's not enough time. It's close, though. If I put my email address in there, I'm too busy running the company, and at least 300 people are going to email me back. Exactly. At least. Isn't that a good thing to happen, guys? That's the only reason I don't do it. I'll get at least 300 emails back, and guess what? Now I'm the one who sucks. Oh my God, I emailed the CEO and he never had a chance, he never had time to get back to me. So it's about building your list to the capacity to where you can continue to put your information in there and teaching your leadership to do the same. You can Photoshop me anytime, guys. So that's why, okay, let me look at one other thing here for you guys. So conversely, that is why this is a demo account, of course. If you look at my account here, which I can't go back and forth, but you saw the side, it looks very similar. That is why, and the only reason why, we put the email marketing system right into yours. And no excuses, because we even gave you the emails that you can modify. So if I come to reseller tools here and I go to my pre-enroll ad copy, I can email this now. And you can see we already formatted a really good email for you. And all you would do here, especially if your list isn't too big, here, put in your phone number. Okay, put in your Skype maybe. In your Telegram if you have it, or if you don't, you just take some of them out, okay? And then obviously we didn't put it here. Here's how, okay, let's get rid of this picture and let's go and put in a picture. Watch how easy this is, okay, guys? So I go to images up here. I click insert image. I'm going to upload one from my computer. Okay, I know my one I use all the time is called Newsletter. Okay, Joel Newsletter. Open it. Now here's where you want to just be slightly careful. Okay, see my mouse from here to here is 800 pixels. So watch what happens if I do this. Boom! It made it way too wide, and my picture's way too damn big. So I'm going to undo that. Okay. I'm going to come back here and I just want you guys to see this. Okay. I'm going to put my picture in again, but I'm going to make it the right size. So come back here, upload my image, browse my image again, go to newsletter. Okay. Click here, open. Now I want to make it small and you maintain the constraint properties. I'm going to make it 200. Okay. See how it automatically changes the properties here and boom. Now, there's my picture in a proper size. Now, if I decide I want to make it a little bigger or a little smaller, I can simply take my mouse and drop it this way. This helps with everything. Put your picture in your email, okay? It instantly generates a lot more trust, okay? So that is that's why we gave you this system, guys. Use it. And don't be afraid. If people decide that they're not interested, they'll simply click the unsubscribe button at the bottom of your email. It's that simple. Okay. So, oh God, I wasn't even sharing my screen. Somebody could have told me I wasn't sharing my screen. Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Eve, for letting me know. She's obviously doing other things. Anyway, let me share my. See, guys, I told you. I surround myself with really smart people. That's why I've had a lot of success. So, damn it, I don't even know what I showed you and what I didn't, but let's come back. Here I was. Damn, now you see my screen, right? Okay. Here I was in the got backup. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. This is why we give you the lead capture system. Okay. And again, a lot of you are buying leads and you're not even emailing them. There's no excuses, guys, because just coming back here, if I come on the reseller tools and I click on pre-enrolled ad copy and I click email this now, we actually even format the email for you. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put in your contact information here, your phone number, whatever you want. Okay. My Skype, Joel.Therrien, whatever you want to put in there. Okay. But the most important thing is put your picture. So best regards. Now, here's how you add a picture. This was what I thought I was showing you guys. I click here. Okay. I click upload image. Okay. I browse for an image. I know that my, called newsletter. So here's my newsletter image. So what I was explaining before, from here to here is 600 pixels. So if I leave it this size, look what happens. It squeezes everything out and my picture is just way, 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 way too big at the bottom. Okay. So I'm just going to undo this here. I'm going to re-upload my picture. It's the exact same picture. Hang on. Okay. And the only difference is I'm keeping the constraints smaller here. So I'm going to put 200. It changes the constraints. And there we go. There's a proper size of my picture. Now I can drag and drop it. I can make it a little bit bigger if I want to. I can make it a little bit smaller. But adding your picture, a picture says 1,000 words. It generates instant trust with people because they realize you're not hiding behind a computer. You're a real person. Okay. So email your leads often. Okay. Tell them about you. Like, I mean, just be very passive about it and so forth. So let me come back here. Let me remove that. Okay. Absolutely not. You cannot. It's a great question, but you cannot because we don't know where you got your list from. Okay. That's the big difference between spam and permission-based email marketing. Okay, guys? Is no, you cannot upload lists to our system because we don't know where you got that list. Okay. So permission-based email marketing. Okay, guys? So guess what? Dr. Koa says emailing multiple times a day, and he's moving up the ranks really, really fast. Really fast. Okay. Like super fast. Why? He's listening and taking massive action, and he's a heck of a nice guy like all of you. Don't be shy. Okay, guys? So again, in closing, don't understand the gist of this ebook. I don't want you to buy anything from it, but it just gives you a better perspective on how powerful of a system we set up for you. But if you don't, so again, remember, 10% of emails are open. So if you email once a week, 10% of the people might even see it. If you email 3 times a day, by the end of the week, 90% of people have seen your email. And guess what? Just say hi, just say hello. I'm about to do an email today talking about my devil Halloween costume last night. Why not? It's part of my life. Just like I shared my story about Dr. Copeland and my troubled beginnings and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that kind of stuff. It's very, very, very important, guys. Very important. Okay. So that's it for today because we've gone on for an hour and 20 minutes. It was supposed to be a 30-minute call, but I'm very passionate about the systems that we set up for you because the system won't fail you if you use the system. Say that again. The system won't fail you if you use the system. Plug in, get engaged. Don't walk away for a month. Okay. People are going to forget who you are. Okay. Even if you're on holiday, you can set up emails to go out once a day while you're gone, completely automated. Send one for tomorrow, the day after that, the day after that, the day after that. No excuses, guys. Okay. No excuses. Really, really important to do so. That's what's going to create the magnetic marketing. So much so, guys, that honestly, once I learned this, you know, the last time I prospected somebody into any type of network marketing or affiliate marketing opportunity, like 20 years ago. I don't need to. I don't need to because my list is so big. Okay. And I'm not there to impress upon you. I'm there to show you or try to impress you. I'm here to impress upon you that it's very easy. If people are opting in, they're saying yes, they want to hear from you. And guess what? If they change their mind, they just click unsubscribe. That's it. It's that simple. Don't be afraid. Don't be the sponsor that sucks. If they opt in, they expect to hear from you. Now, if they opt in, you say, here it is, join my team, down your throat. I don't care about you, just buy my product. Of course they're going to unsubscribe. Build rapport. Listen. See what they want. Just that's why I told you my whole story, right? Nobody was buying my web hosting until I created a local search engine in my area because that's what they wanted, right? Understand what people want. Ask them to email you back saying, hey, if there's anything you need help with, let me know. And guess what? If you don't have the answer, go to our help desk, be resourceful, and people will get you the answers. It's that simple. And guess what, guys? Is it coincidence that Got Backup is $9.97 a month and my first sale online was $9.97 per month? No. Nobody cares about $10. What I mean by that, the amount of trust you have to build with somebody to sell $1,000 is infinitely higher than the amount of trust that you need to generate to sell somebody for $9.97, right? Does that make sense, guys? You need a lot of trust to spend $1,000, very little trust on $9.97. That's why you guys can do this. 1 or 2 emails out there and you know, you'll start to see signups. That's what happened to me. I started building my list and then somebody started buying off my website. Anyway, folks, you get it. Thank you so much for your time. I hope this was very helpful for you guys. It's a very simple process. The larger your list gets, the larger you expand. The larger you expand, the more people become magnetically attracted to you. You know, just as an example, on my Instagram and on my Facebook, I have 200 and some thousand people following me on Facebook, 170,000 people following me on Instagram. Why? They got an email from my list and they went and found me on social media. Okay. It's that easy. Now, the hard part, no, you're not going to build up a list of 10,000 people in one day. But guess what, guys? Here's the last thing I'll share with you. Last thing. If you build rapport with your list, you can expect to make $1 per month per subscriber. Okay? Truly. $1 per month per subscriber. So if you even only have 100 people on your list, which you can do in a day, you can expect to make at least $100 a month. Get 1,000 people on your list, $1,000 a month. 5,000 people on your list, $5,000 a month. 10,000 people on your list, $10,000 a month. Okay. It's very predictable income as long as you don't shove it down their throat. Be helpful, listen to them, build rapport, understand their pain points, all that kind of stuff. Then people start to say, I really like Joel. I really like Samantha. I really like Dr. Koa. I really like Chris. And because I like them, I want to join their team. Have an awesome, wonderful, lovely day, guys. I hope this was helpful. Like I said, I'm just talking from my heart, exactly what I did to do over $300 million in sales online. You can do it too. Love you all. Have an awesome day, guys. Email your list. Don't buy our co-ops and don't email your list. Email your list. They'll come to know, like, love, and trust you and ultimately buy from you. So have an awesome, wonderful day, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.